So the book is The Path Made Clear by Oprah Winfrey. It's actually just a compilation of all of her interviews with people who are successful or thought-provoking. And so it's like a big compilation of different quotes and different things that she found impactful over the years, and then some of her thoughts. She talks about this particular story, which is meaningful. She says, life is not static. We don't have to stay in one place all the time, and we should let that seed grow into something that makes us feel happy. And she talks about how she changed her career and that she had a sign when she was demoted as a co-host on the Baltimore show that she should go off and do her own thing. And so she decided to start a talk show, and people thought she said everyone but Gail thought she was crazy because she would be competing against Phil Donahue, who was huge at that time. And so she ends up launching the Oprah Winfrey Show, and it turns into this huge success. And then later, she got another sign that basically told her to move on. And the lesson that she's learned is to just listen to those signs and to move and to grow and to make changes when necessary. So a question I have, and I think this is a personal struggle of mine, is like, I don't know always when I have signs. So I wonder what other people, like what you guys think. What are clear, or do you get clear signs? Do you get nudges? What does that look like?
I always wonder if it's a sign that I'm trying to push the sign, or if the sign's coming to me.
Yeah, me too. It's always hard to know if it's just something that you want really badly, so you push for it, or if it's something that's your purpose and supposed to be.
Right.
Well, for me, I feel like I get signs when I keep thinking about the same thing. Like if a certain thought or an idea or a feeling just keeps coming back to me, I feel like that's telling me that's something that I need to move on. Like when I was in New York, I was up there for 8 years, but I think the last 2 years, I kept thinking about Atlanta. And for whatever reason, I was really drawn to the city and really attracted to it, even though I had never even visited. And so now I'm here. I still don't know what exactly was driving me here, but I felt like that was a sign telling me that it was time to leave New York.
Baby Miles. You wouldn't have been able to have Baby Miles in New York.
Yeah. I came to Atlanta to have my baby.
Yeah, I feel like nothing ever like hits you on the top of the head and says, do this, like a big hammer out of the sky from God, just like move. And so the more in tuned we are to it, like you're like, I know if it keeps coming up, it keeps bubbling up, it's something I need to move on. That's brave. What you focus on will manifest into greatness. Take your time. If you focus on the negative, then you will miss out on the positive and happy memories in your life. I think we all know this, but we tend to focus on the bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes the bad stuff it's easier to believe than the good.
Yeah. And it helps to have somebody on the outside to give you like a nice reality check, like in a good way. I remember one time I was feeling pretty down about where I was in life, or where I thought I was, because I didn't have this, I wasn't doing that. And then a friend from out of the country came to visit, and he was like, wow, you're doing this and that, you have this and you've accomplished this, you have created this amazing life. And after he left, I was like, you know what? He's right. I was like, why am I so upset and obsessed about what I don't have and what I'm not doing? Like, I've really come a long way. So it was good having that reality check from him.
Somebody said something to me a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, well, I'm just living life. And they were saying something very nice to me, like they're so proud of what I've done and this and this. I'm like, I just get to go to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's special.
But it is special, but we don't see it because, like you said, we're too close. It's just, we're just living our life every day. But it is special.
I was talking to my friend Farlene about this the other day, is that you have to find a way to be happy with what you have and the life that you're living, but also be okay with being hungry to do and have more. And sometimes we get so caught up on the hungry side that we forget to be happy. To live your best life, you must become your best self. We pressure ourselves into putting a time frame on the things we want to do, and as a result, stress ourselves out because we're comparing our lives with others. But life isn't as clear cut as that. We may dream to have $1 billion and a fancy car, but do we really know ourselves? Can we truly achieve our dreams if we don't really know ourselves? Happiness will come when we look for it internally before reaching out to the rest of the world. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Women, oh my gosh, we put lifetime frames on ourselves. Like, I have to be married by this age. I have to have kids by this age.
Yeah.
I have to have bought my first home by this age. And all those time frames are so stressful and a little cray-cray, but and ultimately none of that makes you happy. And the biggest way to happiness is to figure it out for yourself. Another thing that I was thinking about when I read this part was, you always hear people say, find a mate or a spouse that will make you happy. And I really think that unless you're already a happy person, that's never going to work. You can't expect someone else to make you happy. You got to be there first, and then they can just be the icing on the cake.
Yep, I agree.
In the modern world, it can be easy to compare ourselves with others, with social media and the internet making a huge impact on our lives. Sometimes we worry whether we're good enough, and it can seriously harm our self-esteem. We must take a step back to put ourselves at the forefront of our own lives while following our own path to achieve our dreams.
Well, getting that validation, for people you barely know. Or the people that you just seen on, that you just know on social media, or they're passing acquaintances, and you need those likes, and you need that. If you figure out how to just get past that and just be happy, then you can follow your own path.
We only have 24 hours in a day, so you have a choice to walk with wise people and stack up more wisdom, or you can become a companion of fools and your life will unravel. I thought this quote was a good one.
Companion of fools. Yeah, I like that.
Your life will unravel. I think it's really hard to convince, especially young people, that, birds of a feather. You do tend to be like the people you hang around, so it's better to hang around people that are positive or have wisdom. I like to stack up more wisdom.
I've withdrawn from some people who are extremely negative and just put out unhappiness and kind of those emotional vampires, and I have found that I'm more at peace.
Yeah.
Yes. I've had to do that recently too. I was spending time on the phone with somebody who was just super negative, and I had to cut back on that, and it actually made me feel better.
Yeah. It does make you feel better. It's a drag. And then it's like before you even know it, you see that person coming and your body kind of changes, like, oh boy, or the phone rings and you kind of tense up.
Yeah.
That's when okay, I need to make a change. I'm not letting this person into my world a little too much. Yeah. Resistance for evolution. Ooh, I really like this one. The more important an activity is to your soul's evolution, the more resistance you will feel to it. I know this is about my soul, but I think about like working out. It's like the more important it is, the harder it is for me to do it. But I like this one a lot. So it's interesting. So the things that we probably resist are the ones that we really need to be working on.
Yeah, that was, the consistent exercise I'm resistant to. And I know it's good for my body, it's good for my soul, but sometimes I just want to sit on a couch and eat Pop-Tarts.
Oh, Pop-Tarts. Yeah, that's for me too. I think that you can make a lot of excuses to do the things that you really need to do that are the best for you. So yeah, I like that one a lot.
I resist washing dishes. I hate washing dishes. But
Well, it's really
but
good for your
it's
soul to have a clean space.
right. It's important for my soul's evolution because when I have a clean space, I feel so great. And I'm like, man, my apartment looks amazing when it's clean. But I
It is a
hate
great
cleaning it.
feeling, but it's just so hard. Like I even resisted cleaning my garage for years, but then when I did, I'm like, it's so nice. I can work out in there now. It's so I can park my car in there. But yeah, didn't want to do it. Pretending. This is one from TD Jakes. Have you ever seen so many tired people in all of your life? I mean, everybody's tired. 30 years old and exhausted. 25 years old who can't get out of bed in the morning. You know why we're tired? Because we're pretending. It takes so much work to pretend. When you can really be who you are and find out where you fit and function from a place of comfort, then you stop working. You stop wrestling.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I bet we all have a bit of pretending.
Yeah, I think we all do. I think it's also about like the emotional aspect of pretending. Like not pretending to not of course yes, a part of it, a big part of it is pretending to be someone you're not. But I think most of us, if not all of us, pretend to be okay when we're not. You're pretending to be this happy person where everything's going right when, internally, in truth, you may be falling apart. You may be really angry about something, or you may be depressed, and, you don't want the world to see that, for whatever reason. You think you might be judged, or you just don't want to put that, emotional burden on somebody else, and you just carry it and you walk alone with it. That's exhausting because you're pretending to have it all together and you don't.
I saw a meme that said a lot of people need to for Halloween dress up as the person that they say they are on Facebook. You should just come as who you are on Facebook because it's not real. Yeah, you have to have somebody that you don't have to pretend with. So I think for me, why I like starting with this book before we do goal setting is because this gives you a chance to really reflect and think about things like, are you really happy? Do you know what your calling is? Are you pretending? Are you putting unnecessary time frames on your life? And then you take those things and start to think about what should your future goals be. If you know what your calling is and you're very far away from it, what steps do you need to be taken to get there? Are you listening to signs? I think my big thing is I'm probably like with Mary, I got to figure out if I'm listening to the signs or if I'm forcing something. So I'll keep that in mind, Deidre, that you said the things that just keep popping up and keep nagging at you. That's how you know it's something you need to move on.
I think for me, I would like to work on the things that I am resistant to. I can photograph nature and landscapes all day long because I don't get anxious with them. I don't have anxiety with them. They're just there for me to take my time and photograph. But when I think about photographing people, I get afraid. And it's something inside of me resists it.
So I think you need someone in your life, like what Deidre was saying, the person that came in and said how amazing everything is, because I think your photographs that you have taken of people are great. And so you should not be resistant to that. I know probably because we can talk.
Yeah.
They're not going to say anything.
Yes, exactly.
Your work is beautiful. You should not fear that. So if you need someone to help you whenever you start feeling resistant, you let me know. I'll tell you.
Okay, I definitely will. Thank you.